I've been on the internet a long time, and so I've seen people get mad at games for every single possible reason under the sun. And usually, what I do when I see a new game comes out and like a lot of people are liking it, or just a game that was kind of hyped up, when it comes out anyway, I kind of try to see what the worst people on the internet react to and how they react to it and what they say about it. And today, I've been kind of like shown that people have gotten mad at Resident Evil Requiem in probably one of the funniest ways humanly possible. And also, it just is really stupid. And I think it's something that we need to take note of. And of course, it's surrounding the two main characters of the game, Grace and Leon Kennedy. You're not going to believe it why people are mad about these two characters. So, of course, with the woman in the game, people are mad that she's not the most over sexualized human being in human history ever to exist ever in any way possible. Because like this person just put an AI generated edit of Grace and then said, you know what she needs, and she's in this distressed environment, a collar that's 6 inches lower than what it actually is. Because I assure you, this edit is essential to the plot. Like even this person's argument just doesn't make sense, saying that it would be ideal one given the character situation at the moment. What do you mean? What do you mean this is the ideal one? It's like obviously the common trend that is that like people are thinking, are people getting mad at the idea that the female protagonist is not the most over sexualized and hot person ever to exist in human history, because apparently that's like what they want to have in all of their games, and they believe that like a woman who's dressed just normally is the woke DEI getting in the way of the game and getting in the way of the plot. And so like another thing that came out of it was people getting overly angry about how people are just treating Leon in the game. Leon Kennedy is probably one of the most thirsted over gaming characters in human history. Like I've seen so many mods and so many things of him about his like shirt getting taken off in the games, and like I'll talk more about that later. We will get into that. But this clip is just, I'm not gonna play the entire thing, but this clip is just a girl like saying, "Oh, he's kind of sexy." And then this learning the law manga lawyer person or whatever just basically says, "This game blackpilled me. Years of showing how female fan service was a race for most franchises, only to be mocked for it. Now sexualizing men is praise, while Sims treat the most mid-female character like the holy grail of gaming. The game made billions. We will never go back." A lot of things wrong with this here. One, game did not make billions. I don't know where you're getting that number from. Obviously, I know it's a hyperbole, but like, what the fuck are you talking about? Two, most mid-female character. Now, apologies for me going back to the stupid edited image, but this is not the most mid character ever. I do not know what women you're looking at in your day-to-day life, but she's kind of an attractive woman, and I don't understand what the fuck you're talking about saying the most mid woman ever. And so getting mad at like people, I guess simps for treating the most midfield character like the Holy Grail gaming. I've legitimately not seen anything in any capacity in any way about Grace in this game at all. I've legitimately exclusively seen people feasting over Leon Kennedy the entire time. So I don't know who's treating Grace like the Holy Grail gaming, even though she's not even mid. I don't know where this person's getting this information from. But once again, they're calling like dude simps. So not really the best type of the most intelligent source of information we will ever see. Also, someone who's getting blackballed by someone thirsting over Leon Kennedy is just one of the stupidest ways of all time. And like I'm assuming the female fan service is just like not women having their fucking like boobs flying all over the place and all in your face the entire time. Because I guess like I would assume female fan service would be like this scene right here, not male fan service would be targeting like making hot women. But I guess I'm wrong. And like we have another take on this, like someone getting mad that Leon Kennedy is getting sexualized by a lot of people. Like this is one of the stupidest motherfuckers online. You'll see this guy so often, and he's just really stupid. And I think as also at one point he got like exposed as being one of the biggest video game terrorists in human history. But anyway, once again, someone thirsting over a Leon Kennedy shirtless mod, and he's saying, "Oh, gooding for me, not for thee." And trying to imply that people are saying it's illegal to have hot women in your game, and that's not what it is. So like, once again, this isn't even in the actual game. This is a mod, obviously just there. People doing this to Leon Kennedy all the time, and he's trying to say that this applies to also just like women not looking like this in games apparently, which is just not the case. One, Leon Kennedy doesn't even fucking look like this in the game. This is people who modded it into the game, and two, I'm assuming there's gonna be a lot of mods doing the same thing to Grace in the game as well, and also just all the women in the Resident Evil games. And I think this is trying to argue like it's trying to say that people are trying to say you're not allowed to have any hot women in your game in any capacity. And I feel like this guy's a fucking idiot because that's just objectively not true. Prime example of a game having women that a lot of people are feasting over. Baldur's Gate. No one had any issue with how the women looked in that game in any capacity. And the reason why no one was mad about this is because it's not like their clothes were just like flying off like Tamaki from fucking Fire Force in the middle of a fight. It's because like they were good looking women, but they actually were like, well written in any capacity. And they just weren't, eye candy for the plot of the game. And so like this argument is always stupid. It'll always be stupid. And this person will always be stupid, mind you. This person is one of the dumbest people of all time. Once again, I will remind you with that. And just trying to say that people like outlawed having hot women in games is just like their main argument here. And it just doesn't make any sense. And also like there's no way this dumbass is taking like this anything about this image right here seriously. Like, I don't understand how you look at this picture and say, yes, this is something that I should get mad at right now. And so, like, once again, about this guy being a dumbass, actually, he, like, did quote retweet this person's tweet in that last one, where he originally tried to say that, Resident Evil is absolutely terrible, because, he's mad that you're stumbling through dark corridors as a terrified woman. And then as soon as it became good, he said, as long as you have hot people, the game will be good. And so we have a bit of a schism in the people who are the right-wing grifters who are getting mad at the game. Because I thought she was the most mid woman of all time. But apparently, according to Rock Solid, she's attractive, and then so is Leon Kennedy. And once again, this argument is stupid. No one has ever said in the history of human being in life and world and in the existence that you're not allowed to have a hot person in the game. It's just that the hot person cannot have their only personality trait of being hot and their clothes like ripping and just everything being exposed. And I think it's just hilarious that this is still like a point they're trying to like take, saying like, oh no, you're not allowed to have good-looking people in your game. When no one has ever in their entire life said, I actually want the ugliest motherfuckers of all time in my game. I feel like I speak for most people in saying, everyone is a little bit fine with eye candy in their game, as long as it's just that's not the entire point of their character. Like, Leon isn't there in the game because he's hot and people want to take his shirt off. He's there as like a protagonist. There's like an entire fucking story behind them. And it's like their entire argument, like saying, once again, that people don't want hot women in their games is just stupid. It's really dumb and really funny to look at all the time, seeing how mad people get up at them. And I think it's always just fun to look at like what straws they grasp at to call a game like woke and DEI. And then obviously once a game is good, they say, actually, it's the death of woke. And so like I've been kind of just like, yapping about this. It's been taking me such a long time to form coherent thoughts about like what I want to say about people getting mad, because it just doesn't make any sense to me in their argument. I've really caught myself multiple times just like staring at my screen, like just brainless for a minute, because I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to like analyze here and try to look at. But apparently their arguments are both, one, Resident Evil sucks because the woman is ugly in the game, but also two, Resident Evil is good in the game because they made the woman hot. I guess is what the main point of contention is for these people, and obviously that's kind of a it's a contrasting idea, because both of these grifters are trying to grift to the game, I guess, like the anti-woke mob, but when their arguments just clash against each other, and it's kind of funny. And once again, I need to make this clear to these dumb fuckers if they ever watch this video, which it won't, but I need to make this clear. People aren't mad that the women are hot in their people are mad that there's hot women in their game. No one has ever been mad that they're hot women in their game. They're mad if the hot women in their game just is there only to like be hot and has like no personality behind them and it's just like the most like flat, one-dimensional kid character of all time. That's what people are mad about. The people are like, why are you putting a woman in the game there just for me to look at when I actually want like have good characters in my game? And so like, I guess if there's anything you should get from this video in reality, it's keep on modding a shirtless Leon Kennedy in Resident Evil. People really like it, I guess, is what they're doing. It's how you increase game sales. If you want your IP to keep on thriving in Resident Evil, let people mod the game even more with Leon Kennedy, is from what I'm seeing, from what I've seen on Twitter. That's actually what's making the game successful in any way. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say today. This is probably just a ramble session to end all ramble sessions, but I rambled to my best of my ability. That's it, so thank you for watching. Goodbye.